All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Tuesday evening. Another edition of KnicksFanTV's post-game live presented by DraftKings. Use the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use our code KFTV. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. The Knicks taking on the Celtics in a final attempt to establish themselves as one of the true contenders in this league, to establish themselves against the elites. And while it looked good for a half, with the offense coming into play, the captain looking good, Karl Anthony Towns back to his dominance. In the second half, the Celtics would clap back, led by Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, among many others. And the Knicks had a chance in this one. In the fourth quarter, crunch time, Captain Clutch getting it going. Boneheaded plays, a lack of execution, and bad coaching would doom this team. And in the end, it was the champs showing why they are indeed the kings of the East, winning in overtime. 119 and 117. And yeah, Cavs are in first place, but the champs are the champs. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, CP the Fanchise here. Almost wasn't even going to do my opening intro because I have to be honest, I'm tight. I'm tight about this one tonight. This is game number, what game number is this for us right now? This is game number 79. 3 games left. And you can argue whether or not, you could argue it in terms of how to qualify this game, win or lose, who's playing who's playing in the game, how's the coaching in this game. This game mattered for the Knicks. It mattered. You wanted to be able to go into the postseason with some confidence against this team. You wanted to quiet the haters and give yourself confidence that you could see this team in a 7-game series. And so I thought that this Knicks team played to a certain extent with a playoff type intensity. It was great to see the captain back into the swing of things. He was moving fairly well. Much better offensive bag. 10 and 21 from the field, 5 and 12 from downtown, 27 points, 10 assists. Karl Anthony Towns loved the way the Big Bodega was playing in this one to start the game. 34 points, 14 rebounds, facing up, taking Boston off the dribble. The 3-ball. Had one for 3, but 14 and 21 from the field. Aggressive and dominating in spurts. The defense was there in the beginning. 50-some-odd% from the field. But when the champs raised their level, this is what you wanted to see. Because you knew it was coming. You knew that they were going to raise their level. Joe Mazzulla made sure he had everybody playing tonight. Now, Jaylen Brown ultimately was not feeling at his best, so he sat. But as it turned out, they didn't even need him. But what you wanted to see is that when the champs raised their level of play, you wanted to see if the Knicks could meet them, meet the challenge. Against this Boston team, you have to play damn near perfect to beat them. They have superstars, they have stars, and they have role players who are stars in their role. When you talk about White, you talk about Holiday, you talk about Porzingis, who killed the Knicks tonight. Damn near shot a 3 from half court. Jason Tatum was unbelievable tonight. The Cornet playing his starting role. You have to be perfect against this team. And for the Knicks, they were anything but that, especially to open the third quarter when they gave up a 16-6 run. Yeah, the offense stuck in the mud. You should have been running it through Towns. If your guards can't get any into the paint, you can't get any dribble drives, dribble penetration, run it through Towns as he was dominating out of the post. You let up a 16-6 run because Boston, they can get it going in bunches. So you've got to stay intact. You got to stay tight with this team. But nevertheless, they fought in the fourth quarter, and they gave themselves a chance to win this game. But a series of bad decisions from the coach and the players would doom this team in. Let me just run off a few. And I know, man, this is game 79. I wanted this game. This was an important game to me. Yeah, Tatum going for the three with seconds left. You don't foul him. And then you got Karl Anthony Towns, the worst defender when it comes to decision making. Fouls him on the three. That ultimately ties the game. After Brunson puts them up three, you foul Towns for the three. When you foul Tatum for the three, when you should have fouled him beforehand. So now you put Towns in a boneheaded situation. They put Tatum to the line, and he gets his three free throws. You have 2.9 seconds left in the game. What is Josh Hart doing in the game? How was Deuce McBride not in the game at that point? Yeah, Josh Hart, who goes 5 for 14 tonight in 48 minutes. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Cool. You needed your best shooters at that point. That's on the coach. All right? You had the boneheaded sequence where in the overtime, so it goes into overtime after that because the Knicks couldn't get a quality shot off. So then you had the sequence where they got Cornette going in the fast break. Josh Hart fouls him. They didn't call the take foul. You get Boston side out, and you get the Knicks in La La Land. So they give up 3 points over there. Again, you have to play you got to execute, man. You got to execute. These guys are still out to lunch when the Celtics are out there ready to kill. They get to switch with Brunson and Towns. They put them in a two-man game. You know this is coming. This is going to be the MO. Whether you're going to see Cade in them, whether you're going to see Damon and Giannis. Crunch time, they're going to put Brunson and Towns in the two-man game. Easy money. It gets back to Porzingis, the hottest shooter on the court, and he splashes a three, and Brunson fouled him. It could have been a 4-point play, but the referees were letting it go all night. So I don't know if this is the coach not wanting to show the Twin Tower look all the time. You got to have Mitchell Robinson out there if you're going to have a chance to win these games. Because if you're not playing defense, you're not going to win the game. Every time Mitch was out there, he was impacting the game, advantage Knicks. You got to have Mitch out there. You either take Hart out or you got to take Towns out. Sacrifice one or the other. Got to be out of there. You can't have your two weakest defenders out there getting exposed time and time again by the better teams. So then you got that. Now, Captain Clutch, welcome back. He was good in the clutch in some respects. And then you had other times where on the other side you got KP guarding him on the switch. We got to find a way to get the ball to Karl Anthony Towns, who's got Drew Holiday guarding him. I'm more confident in Towns either taking Drew off the dribble or backing him down for a high percentage shot rather than Brunson trying to hoist up threes over Porzingis. They had like 2 possessions like that. Then the icing on the cake. What's that? You have trouble inbounding. You finally inbounding. And then my guy Mikal Bridges, he's out to lunch. They pan the camera over to Carmelo, a big-time player here when he was with the Knicks. And all he could do was just look up on the Jumbotron like, bro, what are these guys doing? It's game 79. You had national TV game, star-studded affair at the Garden. You needed to execute. It was right there. This game shouldn't even have went into overtime. It was right there. And what did the Celtics do tonight? They showed you why they are the champs, and this Knicks team still has work to do. Call me up on the KFTV Discord, man. Let me know how you guys feel. I'm tight about this, man. Let me read some super chats, get my thoughts together, man. I just had to go on that rant. I saw a game here tonight for the taking. They weathered the storm. I mean, Tatum was busting. I mean, he was killing Mikal. Then you finally get OG back on him, and you see what happens. Porzingis was killing him. And with Boston, man, you can't give up the second chance opportunity. Every time you give these dudes an inch, they will take a mile on you. You got to play a perfect game. It's hard. But they were right there. So many opportunities. I just ran down a list of boneheaded plays by the coach and by the players that cost them this game. They got to figure out the defensive situation with Mitchell Robinson. If this is the coach trying to mask the situation and not trying to show teams too much, we'll have to see what happens in the playoffs. You can't have crunch time scenarios when he's not out there. Either getting you rebounds or playing defense in the pick and roll. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Subscribe to the channel. We got 1,500 people in here. KFTV. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me hear from some people real quick. Let me go to Zach on the Discord. Zach, how you feeling, man?
You can hear me, CP?
Yeah. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm tight just like you, my guy. You know, I mean, this is a 60-40 situation, 60-40 on Tibbs, 40 on the players. Tibbs chose offense over defense tonight, which was absolutely ridiculous. I'm not really understanding that call. I mean, obviously we had some blunders, you know, whether it was Bridges on that last play with, you know, just completely taking his eye off the ball. You know, I think we, you know, there's some positives. Obviously, it's the first time we actually took them to the wire after losing by, like, you know, in context, we lost by 20 every game. I know that last game, you know, we lost by 13, but really that was 9 points that didn't count at the end. But this is 60-40 on the coach, man. I hope he's playing poker. I really hope Tibbs is playing poker and he's just trying to hold his hand back for the playoffs, because this really looked like he dropped the ball.
Yeah. You know, I can't say much else, man. Just a calamity of errors that these guys got to look at the tape and fix. It's as simple as that.
I mean, we're up 3. Foul the dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. He did foul him. Did Karl Anthony Towns? He fouled him on the shot,
no, I'm saying
which he had to expect.
the shot.
I know.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Unreal.
It's just
Yeah.
unreal. I mean, there's only one positive, right? We this is good evidence that we actually can hang with them, right? I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's not healthy. He's not going to be healthy for the playoffs. So we had, a team that, we're probably going to see in the second round. I mean, Porzingis was on fire.
Unbelievable. KP was unbelievable, man. I didn't even get to the free throws. They shoot 62% from the free throw line. You can't have that. You can't have that and expect to beat this team.
Oh, that was our Black Widow right there. The free throw shooting all night from and it started right from that first attempt when OG was out there. Like, yeah, we were a shell of ourselves offensively, but I don't know, man. This is a hard loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hang in there, man. Hang in.
No, all 82. I'm
Yeah.
I'll never quit on these Knicks. But this was just one of those games where we had the opportunity to win and we faltered. And I put, like I said, 60-40 on the coach. And we come out next game and we'll see what we can do.
All right, man. Stay up. Zach on the Discord. Let's get to Redman. Redman, go ahead and unmute your mic. Redman. Redman going once. Okay. We'll let Redman figure things out. LD's ready. LD, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo,
how you feeling?
good evening.
How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm glad that you're upset because that shows signs that you believe we can beat the Celtics.
Oh, I never doubted it, my man. I never doubted it.
100%.
Yeah.
I like that, right? I'm not too mad at this game. Obviously, I'm pissed because it doesn't mean much, but it means everything because of what we need throughout this season. 0-9 or whatever it is against these contenders, it's frustrating. I think what's important, though, is what we've always known. Looking at the Celtics, it doesn't look like they broke a sweat at all tonight. Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum had to maybe play ISO a couple of times. Kristaps Porzingis, the shot that you talked about that was basically half court, the ball literally rolled to him.
Yeah.
It literally rolled to him. He picked it up, he shot it, and he laughed, right? I bring that up because if you look at how easy it was for him to get his buckets in comparison to how much work Karl Anthony Towns had to put in to get his, coach simply just has to make the offense a little bit more efficient. That's it. We have the talent. If you're looking at the Boston Celtics roster, they're not that crazy good. They're good, but it's because their coach is able to just kind of maximize. I know we've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
we've had this conversation before.
I mean, bro, their ability to knock down threes, especially off second chance opportunities, has been demoralizing. It's demoralizing. That's because they're given so much space. Yeah, but they're given so much space. Look at Kristaps. The dude is at half court laughing. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's so much space, there's so much movement. I'm not too upset again because these are things that we've known. Coach just has to make those adjustments, and we'll be fine. But we, as you said, in order to beat these contenders, you have to be perfect. You have got to be perfect. But, I'm still optimistic.
Yeah.
Again, coach just got to make those adjustments, though.
All right. Appreciate the call, man. LD on the chat. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. LD being the voice of reason tonight. Okay. we got it. JD in the building. How you feeling, bro?
I feel like you, man. Very, it's funny because you're trying to, as you mentioned, there's only a couple games left. And I'm not sure if I should be in playoff mode already with my thoughts on this game. I'm not sure if I should look at the positives. It's a very weird feeling after the game because we're so close to the playoffs. You're kind of locking into playoff mode already. So it's like, should I analyze this game as if it was a playoff game? Should I say, oh, it's a regular season game? Like, how do we evaluate this game? Is it a dress rehearsal? Because it really looked like, CP, like both teams, both coaches, both organizations said, you know what? This is the dress rehearsal. Like they do in preseason where you have that dress rehearsal game for the regular season. This felt like that dress rehearsal to prep these players, conditioning and everything for the playoffs. And yet, when you look at the stats, we outshoot them field goal percentage wise. We out-rebound them. 17-9 on the offensive glass, 52-38 on total rebounds, 60-30 in terms of points in the paint, more assists, more blocks, less turnovers. We dominated the stat sheet all around. And yet we go ahead and we're in overtime where you can make the argument we should have never been to overtime. And yet again, we lose a game. So this is what I'm going to say about this, CP. And I honestly, you could say it's emotional. It is what it is. I'm just a passionate fan. The head coach has to be better, man. The head coach has to be better because it is game 79 or whatever, and you look at this game and it's a lot of the same mistakes. Inbounding. Like I just want somebody to tell me where's the lie. Inbounding is still a weakness in a big game tonight, or even if it's not a big game. Regardless, it's still a weakness. We call timeouts. We go on 5-minute commercial breaks. We come back on the court, and Josh Hart takes the shot. That's what it is. We call a timeout. We go on 5-minute commercial breaks. We come back, and it's a turnover. We don't get what we want. I'm tired of seeing opponents get what they want, getting the ball to who they want to get the ball to, and the New York Knicks continue to struggle to get what they want or to get the ball to who they want to get the ball to. And it keeps happening over and over again. And all I'm saying is, where's the evidence that something's going to change in the playoffs? When it comes to the details, because when you look at the numbers and you look at the game, we always talk about the players, and we will. Mikal Bridges, the wings matchup in terms of versus Boston, that has to be a key, and they didn't show up tonight. But also the coach, that trio to me is going to be the difference if you're talking about getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, because you're going to have to go through Boston, and it's the details. And to me, CP, that's just, as a fan, it's just frustrating to see from the beginning of the season and now towards the end, the details, because you said it, we have to be perfect to beat them. And when we have to be perfect, you got to look at where can we look for perfection on our team. We're going to need Cat to take over mismatches. Bingo, we got that tonight. We're going to need Mitchell Robinson to be dominant around the rim. We got that tonight. Mitch came in, got an you saw the immediate impact on the offensive glass. You saw the shot block on Jason Tatum. You saw him rotating. You saw him controlling the paint. He actually played good defense against KP. You got that tonight. You got a lot of things that you need overall as a team. Then you look at the finer details. OG, Mikal, and Tom Thibodeau. Specifically, Tom Thibodeau and Mikal, I think, because at least OG didn't play how he was, but he at least was aggressive when he had opportunities.
Hey, the defense on Tatum was way better than Mikal. So, I mean, you can say that.
Yeah. And listen, he got fooled there late with that step back three. Everybody in the building knew Tatum was going to shoot the three except OG. OG fell with the okey doke. I knew he was going to do that step back three. If you look at Tatum's training and his moves, Tatum loves that fake to the basket, kind of like Zach LaVine. When they do that boom, boom, they hit you with that stutter step back three. That's more scouting report, knowing the moment. But OG is a better matchup against Tatum's. And again, I felt we didn't see OG enough against Tatum. It doesn't mean OG's going to stop Tatum. We saw that. He's a great player. But the difference is, CP, even the tough shots that Tatum hit against Mikal there late, where, let's be honest, you tip your cap. However, you ask Jason Tatum, he's going to tell you those are really not tough shots. You know why? Because look at where he shot the ball from on the court. They were mid-range shots. And it looked tough because Mikal had a great contest. Again, Mikal had a great contest. But where he shot the ball on the court, it's actually a comfortable shot for a great player. Meanwhile, against OG, at least that aspect, OG can take away a little bit because he's just much stronger. So although Tatum is still going to potentially hit a tough shot against OG, it's not on the same spots that he can get to versus Mikal. Those are the details that are important, again, in a playoff series. And I'm hoping that, I'm just praying at this point that we can see that, when the playoffs start. Because, listen, I have respect for the Pistons. I think the Pistons are going to be a great matchup for the Knicks. I think they're going to be a great preparation because of the toughness. We're going to see a lot of fights and all that. And I think it'll be great for the Knicks to build character, toughness, and adversity. But at the end, tonight is the matchup that the NBA is looking for. And therefore, you got what you got.
Just upset. I mean, you even saw in that fourth quarter they were trying to draw the switch to put Mikal on Tatum because they didn't want him. They didn't want OG on him. So you kind of saw that. And as you mentioned, kind of a dress rehearsal before this game started. I felt like I said to myself, even though the expectations were different, I said the Knicks are going to take this game like 07 Giants Pats Week 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is how they're going to approach this game. I didn't expect them to get blown out. I thought they were going to win this game, to truth be told. I thought they were going to take this game even before the game started. I just felt like they were going to finally put a two-way effort together and take it to this team a la Giants Pats 07. And, hey, maybe it ends the same way. Never know. Maybe it ends the same way. But just like you said, still seeing the same mistakes that has bedeviled this team all year. That was a frustrating thing.
And that's what's going to tell you, if you want to look at the positive, I think this is like game five, that this whole team has been healthy. And this is the first time that they faced the Celtics since. And the Celtics went for this game. I mean, Jason Tatum hasn't played in a while. Yeah. In a little bit with the ankle stuff. Porzingis didn't look like he was going to play. Like, these guys went to play today. And yet, if you want to look at a positive, you can say that the team closed the gap, at least not getting, blown out of the building, right? And then on top of that, you could look at, okay, if this is the version that we're going to get with a Mitchell Robinson, with a healthier looking OG, then we'll work with that. But it's going to come down, again, to the details. Because when you look at history and you're looking at defending champions, don't give me this hope. Don't give me, fans, don't try to sell me on, maybe they'll get cold in a series. JD, let's see what's going to happen. I get it. Listen, when the playoffs start, I'll be a fan and I'm going to root for them. And I believe in them. But in the end, when you're going to talk about the Celtics, this is a battle-tested defending champion team that did not have much turnover. You saw how they responded in that third quarter to come out of the halftime, CP. That is a championship response. That's a veteran, battle-tested team. To overcome that hurdle, coaching is going to be a big portion of that because that's what helps you get over the hump. Inbound plays, out of timeout calls. Out of halftime game planning, in-game adjustments, quarter to quarter, substitutions. Why is you brought Deuce McBride in when you were down 4 at the end when you should have brought it in for Josh Hart?
Yeah, that made no sense.
And then you bring him in at the end. Why you even do that now? Why are you teasing me, Tibbs?
Made no sense.
OG got a good look out of it because there was more spacing. Yeah. But, this is what I'm saying. You should have either had Josh Hart inbound that play. If you're going to even have him on the court, let him just inbound the ball. But you're making it easy on the defense when you have, Josh Hart out there. That one of those possessions, I saw Jason Tatum guarding Josh Hart. He was talking to his teammate, and he sagged off of him like, yo, I'm gonna help you cover your guy too. It's like, we don't see that? How does that help? So it's the details that's frustrating.
Shout out to Michael White, Fanchise channel member, says if we lose in the first round and get swept in the second round, we must fire this coach. We had the mismatch with Towns and Mitch all night, but Knucklehead Tibbs didn't see it. Instead, plays Josh Hart. Well, he played in 48 minutes. He damn near played the entire game. So shout out to Michael White. Yeah, again, not sure. Mitch only out his 15 tonight. It has to ramp up. And he's got to be out there in crunch time. There's no other way. They're not going to win and get the defensive stops that they need and the proper rebound that they need if you're just going to have just Towns out there as your sole 5. So we'll see how that works out. Clockwork 718, $10 super chat says Cat scores 34, gives up 40. We are not going to win with him here. Get him and Bridges out of here and get a real superstar like Giannis in here, please. Okay, all right. So Clockwork is already tired of it. Look, I thought Towns had a great game offensively. Defensively, obviously, we know what the situation is. But offensively, I thought that he set a good tone tonight. Thought he set a great tone. And they didn't start with him out of the post. They started with him facing up and attacking, which I thought was great. But even when he went in the post, he had a nice touch. He was able to get his advantages over Tatum, his advantages over Drew Holiday. I like Towns' approach offensively, but defensively, you just know how it's going to end. Disaster.
I think he had an outstanding offensive game. You have to be encouraged at least, because he answered. I had tweeted that he had a Draymond Green-esque focus game where he had discipline tonight offensively. He looked more precise, more controlled. He looked more like he knew what he was going to do, and he followed that up, and everything just looked cleaner in the post, aggressiveness, his moves. He was much more patient around the rim against a KP, roaming because they had, Jaylen Brown, they had Drew Holiday, they had different of those wings. And we all know that that's kind of to alter his psychology, kind of to get him off his game, frustrate him a little bit. And they want him to play like a wing. And tonight he played all around and he responded to that. He was physical. Again, he was controlled. And he was dominant around the rim. So you have to be encouraged because it's a big game. He has not played well. He averaged 15 points per game this season so far against the Boston Celtics. And tonight he had 34, 14 of 21. Again, you want him to shoot more than three-point shots attempts. But he was great tonight offensively. And that has to be the consistency of him versus these matchups. So he shows you the talent. He shows you that he can do it against these type of wings. He can answer to those allegations. Defensively, I think the head coach is going to have to, look at being a little bit more just risky. Maybe play him against a Jaylen Brown and see if you can put someone else, Josh Hart, or someone else on KP to play those pick and rolls better.
I was looking at put him on Hauser and then get Mitch in the game. That's what I was looking at. Like, put him on Hauser. Hauser's not going to... Hauser's there to shoot threes.
There's only two ways, CP. You either do that or you just switch it and live with the results, right? Like, you switch, live with the results of like, again, it's details. And you can coach that. Remember, that game, when we made that run in Boston, we made it they call the fake run, and we made that comeback. A lot of it was Karl Anthony Town switching, playing isolation defense on Jason Tatum in Boston. And even tonight, okay, yes, he fouled him on a three-point shot. I show him film of that. And I look at the fact that, listen, you played them about 7 seconds in isolation, and one of those 7 seconds you made a discipline mistake at the end. But those 6 seconds, you can play that defense. So you can take those risks. Again, Mitchell Robinson against Jason Tatum. Got a block shot. If you can show Tatum a little bit and kind of cut his lanes to the basket, you can contest one of his shots, live with the results. Either you're going to switch and live like that, or, as you mentioned, CP, you're going to have to say, one of these big men, you're going to guard a Sam Hauser, a Jaylen Brown, a wing, a Drew Holiday, and we're going to do what other teams do to us. And we're going to put somebody to force you to change up your offensive play calling. And maybe that'll help you in these pick and rolls because it's not going to change with KP. KP is, and the thing about KP is he's like a Klay Thompson. He's a 7-foot Klay Thompson. The shot release is too quick. The contest doesn't affect him. His shot release is too quick. It's gotten actually quicker as a Boston Celtic than it was as a New York Knick. His mechanics have changed a little bit.
KP crushed him, man. Absolutely crushed him. What do you have? 7 of 8 of 12 from downtown. Let me see KP's numbers. A monster night. 8 of 13 from downtown. 34 points for Kristaps. 32 for Tatum. The two of them combined for 22 of 41.
19 shots, 13 threes.
Damn, boy. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Porzingis and Tatum combined for 12 for 24. They shoot 50% against the Knicks. Brutal, man. Tough. Shout out to AfricanY Fanchise channel member $5 super chat. Says Tibbs is not playing possum. He can't figure out how to beat the top teams. We may be looking at an early exit. The stats are not in our favor. I still don't believe in that, sir. When it comes to this team, hey, it certainly will be a dogfight. No question about it. It will be an uphill battle. But the Knicks are getting out the first round. They'll be fine. The Snurg Fanchise channel member, welcome to the Fanchise channel members. Okay, we got a lot of callers in the queue. Let's go rapid fire. We're going to get to some new callers as well, but let's get to the members lounge first. The Knicks Fix. Go ahead and unmute your mic. The Knicks Fix.
TPJD, what up, fellas?
Good. How you doing?
Oh my God, fellas! This the game that I don't think I'm sick, and I actually lost my voice even more, man.
Yeah,
man. Yo, it comes down to the details. Like JD said, you got to play Mitch. Mitch was out there giving them the business on the perimeter, man. Like I don't know what I know he loves Hart, but you got to play Mitch. You got to figure that out.
I have to, and not to cut you off, I just have to think that he's saving it for something. There's no way that you, a coach that likes to lean on rim protection and shot blocking and who would lean on Mitch, a healthy Mitch, I have to think that they're holding it back for something, man.
That's the only thing I could think of, CD. Yeah. Because when he came in there, man, he was giving them the business, man, on defense. Like Mitchie was killing. So that's the only thing. He don't want to show his hand. Second thing is, you standing right there. You got to tell OG, foul at the end of the game, foul. Tibbs never fouls, but he's right. And that's the second thing. Third thing is, man, the out of bounds plays, right? The out of bounds plays to close regulation. That's the play you call up. Is like if we have the first option, if the first option goes down, which was JB, you give the ball to Hart. Like, why is Hart taking the shot? And then the last shot by Mikal, you put him in the corner. Bro, I'm saying, man, I don't know. Like, Michael Malone is available. I'm just saying, but, that's the only thing. We could beat this team. Fellas. Anyway, man, y'all stay up, bro.
All right. The Knicks Fix in the building. We'll talk about the Malone stuff. I want to get through some game takes. We'll talk about the Malone stuff, time permitting. But, hey, this was Tibbs after the game on that late game situation. We'll hear from OG as well. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me get to the Tibbs comments. Make sure the volume is up first, because sometimes SNY's volume is pretty terrible. So let's hear from Tibbs. Here we go.
They, made a tough play. 12 seconds left. In transition, it's tough because of the way he's coming at you. He got inside the three. I think he went step back, and it's made a shot.
All right, that was Tibbs, and then OG weighed in on it because, as Nick's Fix said, OG should have fouled him. Here was OG on that. Here we go.
That last play in regulation, is there anything different you think there? Like, are you guys thinking about foul? Or?
Yeah, I should have fouled. I should have done a foul.
All right, so OG's taking it on him. Tibbs says it went by very quickly. Let me see if I could just rewind it here on the highlights. Yes, this is when Brunson put him up 3, and here we go. Yeah, all right. So OG did give him a little bit of space. No, that wasn't it. Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, that's the play that OG was talking about.
The when he hit him with the step back?
When he hit him with the step back. OG saying he should have fouled him there.
And it's interesting. OG speaks his mind. Is OG saying what he feels should have happened, and he's just saying, I should have done it? Because it seems like Tibbs was saying more like, the situation, like things happen and just unraveled and we just weren't able to. Whereas OG's like, I should have fouled him. And if you look at that play, Jason Tatum stepped inside the three-point line. So before he got back to the three-point line, he actually went inside of it, doing the fake as he was going to the basket. Right there, you could have fouled. But they played it straight up. And, we saw what happened after that.
Played it straight up. 119 and 117. Knicks lose to the Celtics in overtime. CB Fanchise JD Sports Talk in the building. Let's get to another call. Then we'll get to your key stats of the night. Let's hear from Apostle in the Making. Apostle in the Making. Let's go.
What's up, guys? God bless y'all. First of all, prayers for Jalen Wells out there. I don't know if you guys saw the injury.
I didn't see it, man. They said he got stretchered off for bad flagrant. I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was bad, but it looks like he's okay. So just prayers to him. More important than the game, but just prayers that he's all right. He can come back and play. First of all, I thought we fought hard, you know, but you could tell we wanted it bad. But it's just a mental lapse on, like, how do you leave somebody wide open in overtime? Y'all are communicating, and you left, what, was it Pritchard?
It was Hauser.
In overtime.
Wide open.
Hauser, okay. Wide open.
You can't give this team extra opportunities to kill you. They will. Every time.
Right. And I think this game was really lost in the second quarter. At the end of the second quarter, when they went on that run, we was winning on the offensive boards. Then I think it was Cornette that came in. Like you said, is Tibbs not showing his cards? Because I would have immediately been like, okay, we up by 11. Let's try something different. We finally got Mitchell Robinson back. You put in Cornette, I'm going to put in Mitchell Robinson. And at that time, you had Bridges with 3 fouls. Why not take him out, get him some rest?
Right.
And then bring Mitchell Robinson in and see if it works. See if it works, because I know you're not trying to play your cards if that's what it is. But I really wanted this win. The players really wanted this win. And to not counter that, I was like, why? And immediately when I saw that, why not put Mitchell Robinson in? And that's why I think we should. It's too late now. We should have brought up Moses Brown when Ariel Hart got injured and tried double big the whole season. But now we got to wait to the playoffs to see, and I don't think we should wait that long. But we'll see. All right, guys.
Yeah, I would love. Yes, go ahead.
Also, one more thing. Mm-hmm. Towns get in the post against Holiday.
Yeah,
in the post.
He did a couple times. I mean, he only shot 3 threes. And how many attempts did Towns have tonight? He was going to work. He had 21 field goal attempts, only 3 were threes. I wish, especially in the third quarter when the offense was bogged down and the Celtics defense was starting to turn up. They go on the 16-6 run. Knicks didn't go to him at all in the post. I don't recall.
Yeah, it was just against Holiday. You got it at the end, and if you seeing that like 3 minutes at overtime, I think I keep seeing them. I'm like, why not? He's standing up there at the 3-point line. I'm like, why not call plays? Why not even force it and be like, no, give me the ball. He's on me. He's not no taller than 6'4". Just get in the post, make them double you. You kick it out, and you live with that. You make it die by the 3. They don't double you. You get down there. You were making it the whole game. So
yeah.
That's all. Thanks, guys. God bless.
Appreciate the call, man. You as well, man. Appreciate the call. Apostle in the Making on the Discord. Remember to join our Discord, man. 24/7 group chat on the Discord. And as you'd see, we have a lot of people in the queue, but our Fanchise channel members come in first. They get to cut the line. That is the benefit for paying for the monthly subscription to the Fanchise channel memberships, along with many other things. Custom emojis, access to videos and recordings once we release them, and discounts to our events and merch as well. So make sure that you guys are joining the Fanchise channel members. And speaking of Fanchise channel members, the Knicks did lose this game, which was completely demoralizing, but a Fanchise channel member is going to go home a winner tonight, because as you guys saw on yesterday's show, we're giving away an autographed Jalen Brunson Villanova jersey to celebrate the ending of the NCAA tournament, man. Autograph. Shout out to our friends at AT&T for sending me this autograph, man. Fanchise channel member. So make sure you guys stick around in the chat. That is going on at the end of this show. And if you guys haven't joined the Fanchise channel memberships yet, hit the join button below and you can take part in tonight's giveaway. Okay. So, yeah, on the Mitch front, bro, he played 16 minutes tonight. When he first came back, we were told that it was going to be around that, like 12 to 15. Then we were told that it was going to ramp up after like a week or so when he got back. But you really haven't seen it in that much more than the 15-16. So I don't know if it's a situation where is he feeling okay? Are they being more, conservative here? Like last 5 games, 18 against the Bucks, 14 against the Blazers. Okay, played 21 against Philly when Towns didn't play. 13 against Phoenix. And now the 16 against Boston.
I think it's so interesting. There's a couple of games. Remember that one game where we were like saying like, damn, Mitch, you can't even play 4 minutes straight. And then the next game he was great. He played, more minutes. There's some possessions sometimes where it looks like he's laboring, and then there's some possession that he looks great. But then I think they're just scared. I think they're nervous about getting this guy hurt before the playoffs.
Yeah, he did take a little ugly spill in this one too, man. I was worried when I saw, I think it was Cornette hit the ground, and you saw when Mitch's momentum was taking him back. I said, here we go again. He about to get rolled up on. I said, oh man, here we go again, bro.
Yeah, and the thing with Mitch is, it's unconventional. Like he can have a regular fall, and with Mitch, it can result in a twisted ankle, a re-aggravation of something. It's just, I think they're just doing it like they've gotten comfortable with this outlook right here of 15 to 18 minutes, and they may have figured, you know what? Let's not mess around. Let's keep it consistent. Let's just build them up like just slower than usual, but at least let's get to the playoffs with this guy, and let's not even mess with it. And maybe they can, again, that plan could also backfire because if the playoffs start and now you're going to play him 30 minutes, can he last that? Right. And especially like 25 minutes of a regular season game, it's not the same 25 minutes of a playoff game. The intensity is at a different level. The focus is at a different level. Your concentration is at a different level. The crowd is louder. Everything just feels more magnified. You're a little bit more nervous. So there's more energy that you extend in the same amount of run that you have in a regular season game that you do in the playoffs. So my concern is if you are doing this to then just say, all right, flip a switch. It's the playoffs. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. We're going to play him 25 minutes. We don't care now. Now, because now's the playoffs, then that could backfire on you. Or this is going to continue, and we're going to see this in the playoffs, 15 to 16 minutes. And I'll tell you what, if this is what we're going to see in the playoffs, this whole plan might have been a disappointment, CP, because I want to see the way Mitch played tonight. I want to see Mitch get in the 20s in the playoffs. You may need to, especially in that first round against the Pistons. With that physicality that could come your way.
How about the block on Tatum on the 3 on the switch? I was waiting for it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, try that.
I don't know if you peeped. He clapped before that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mitch always been doing some funny stuff. I'm like, Mitch, why you amping up Tatum, man? Like, because when great players see that, you see they get lower in their stance and they go like this. Players get amped. Oh, word? You think you can guard me?
Gave him a little Mitch, please. Classic. Block that 3. Oh, my God, bro. I was going crazy. I let a little man sleeping. I'm eating my dinner, catching up. I was ready to go crazy in the kitchen, man. This whole game had me tight, man. Crunch time. I'm ready to throw the laptop. But, yeah, that's just me being a diehard, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. We're going to get Mitch right. We're going to get back on track. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. $50 super chat. Says, yeah, I'm tight, but I'm not sensitive. Loss painful, but damn, I love this team and the fight we gave. Boston Core, Stevens, Maz, Tatum, Brown, familiar 9 years. We will learn. He says this team is in virgin territory. Every play in this is painful learning. I love this damn team. Yeah, it's true, man. It was definitely painful. And a lot of guys need to be learning, including our guy Mikal Bridges, because look,
what we gonna do with him?
he had some bright spots in the fourth, but But last
it's
play,
so funny, right? Like that last spurt right there, I started to get hot. I'm like, okay, let's go,
that's what I'm
Mikal.
talking about. Yeah.
Now you're waking up.
Yeah.
Great time to wake up.
He had some bright spots in the fourth, but I think it's again how to fit. Well, first off, he picked up the 3 fouls early in the first half, so that took away his aggressiveness completely, especially on the defensive end, which the way Tatum was cooking him probably didn't even matter. But I think offensively, it's still that where do I fit in type of situation when Brunson has it going and Towns has it going. And then you got Hart, who the defense is leaving open by design, taking 14 shots. I think that also further compounds the issue. So something to look at.
Very difficult for him. But I will say that stretch where even Payne hit a 3 from the elbow. He hit a long 3 from the elbow. Even that possession that led to Payne hitting that long 3. Mikal, in that sequence, that run where he was with the bench, he was getting the ball a lot, and he was driving to the middle of the court, and he was stopping his dribble, and he was passing it off. One of them turned into a campaign 3. But I remember telling George, like I text George right after that shot, and I'm like, George, we hit a 3 off that, but I just don't like how Mikal approached it because he's just not being aggressive. Yes, it turned into a made shot, but I don't think it was designed for him to do that. It looks like they try to get him they try to push him to be a little bit more aggressive, and he was just going halfway with the game plan, where he was driving, but then he stopped his dribble, and he just seemed like just not comfortable. And that's okay, because that's going to happen in games throughout a long season. But the problem is, CP, it's happening too much against these top echelon teams, against the teams that, he's struggling against, the Celtics, and that's what's, in the end, he's going to get evaluated on, because we gave up a lot for you. And quite frankly, we gave up a lot for you for this matchup. Unfair or not, fair and unfair, this is why we got him for. And right now, CP, it looks like he has some working to do offensively in terms of against the Celtics. And defensively, he might be only a good use against a Jaylen Brown, because to me, he's a total mismatch against Jason Tatum. So
yeah,
you made this trade, and I don't know that you're getting 40% of the return in terms of this specific matchup. And it's going to be very interesting, because you're going to look at the end of the season, you're going to look at his numbers, efficient, 50%, 48%, for a third option, 18 points. Like, you look at it mathematically and you say, what more do you want from a third option? Like, you look around the NBA, third options he's giving you those numbers, but when the expectations grow, and you look at it individually from a game and matchup standpoint, we still need a little bit more from Mikal Bridges.
For sure. And, I don't know if it's a case where, hey, you tip your cap to the better offensive player. Like, it's like Brunson. Like, who's the guy outside of like a Dyson Daniels who one-on-one can really give Brunson a problem? It's tough. Donovan Mitchell gave Mikal a lot of work, but Donovan Mitchell gives a lot of people work. So it's hard to say, man. Sometimes with these upper echelon, true MVP caliber players,
you got to help him as a head coach. Don't put him on Tatum.
Yeah.
Put him on Jaylen Brown the whole game.
Put him on Jaylen Brown.
Do something else. Like, don't put him out on an island, and then have us wondering why he's getting cooked by him. Like, you got to help him too. Like, and it's okay to say, listen, and I think that's, it's a challenge for a head coach, because you got 2 wing defenders that both feel they can defend the same guy. And sometimes you just switch off on them. But sometimes you just got to say, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to play this guy. And if you got him, get off of him. We're going to play the matchup that we want. And, listen, if we would have won that game, that stretch in the fourth quarter would have been the positive.
Yeah.
Because he definitely ended, decently there in the fourth.
CB the Fanchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. Knicks lose 119 to 117 in overtime to the Celtics in game number 79. 3 games left. Let us know how you guys feel, man. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Salute to the replay gang. And also remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format. So, on a late night like tonight, if you can't watch the entire show on YouTube, head over to Spotify, head over to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review as well. And catch up on the audio podcast platform of your choice. Hey, remember, Fanchise channel members, the Brunson autograph. Look at that, man. Up close and personal. Yeah, that's the captain's signature right there. Is going up for grabs tonight. Yeah, man, we don't give away like 3 autographed Jalen Brunson jerseys this year alone. 2 Nick joints and this one Villanova joint. So shout out to the captain. Shout out to AT&T. For the love. Okay, let's get to the key stats of the night, man. Hey, good shooting night for the Knicks, at least early in this game. They do finish shooting 47.5% from the field. Celtics 46. Knicks, though, shoot 28% from 3 on 38 attempts. And here we go again. Boston, damn near 50. So another night where they get outscored 60 to 33 almost. 57 to 33 from three-point land. And on top of that, they shoot 62% from the charity stripe, 80 for the Celtics. Knicks did win the rebounding battle heavily, 52 to 38. The assist battle relatively even. Knicks did win that one by 28 to 26. Points off of turnovers, Boston, 15 turnovers led to 22 Knicks points. And the Knicks, 11 turnovers led to 15 Boston points. Knicks won the fast break battle 12-9. Points in the paint. And like I said, Karl Anthony Town did a lot of damage here. 60 to 30. They outscored the Celtics. But again, when the Celtics are firing that way from downtown, 57 to 33, that's the great equalizer for them. Largest lead of the night for the Knicks, 11. Largest lead of the night for the Celtics was 7.
When I look at the stats for me, I mean, you can go 2 different ways. I look at the rebounding at 52 to 38 and 17 offensive rebound. Again, you look at 8 offensive rebounds between Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson getting 4 more offensive than defensive rebounds in only 16 minutes. And then, you look at that, when you have that disparity, you're going to win basketball games. And that's the difference, that they did not win tonight, but you win basketball games when you have those numbers. So then you look at then what could have been the difference. And there you go, the 3-point shot, us only shooting 28%, being outshot by the 3 by 11 3-point shots. 38 to 49 is not terrible. It's not like a crazy mismatch. Well, we only shot 28%. It's not like they shot 56% in their 39 shots. They shot 38, 39%, a solid number. But 10% difference, 28 to 38, it's a big, big difference when it comes to 3-point shots because, as we all know, 1 3-point shot equals 3 points. So shooting 28% to 38%, to me, that was the difference in the ballgame. You look at individually, OG going 0 for 5, and Josh Hart going 0 for 4. Those are 2 starters going 0 for 9 in premium positions against this team. That right there, 0 for 9 between those 2 players, you can say was the ballgame tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And then, you said OG and Mikal or OG and Hart?
OG and Hart.
OG and Hart. And then Mikal, hey, 2 for 6 for Mikal. So between them, that's 3 for 14.
Between your, Wingstop.
Between Wingstop.
Like, you were brick stop tonight.
And Deuce, 1 for 4. That's another guy you need shooting threes. Campaign, 1 for 3. It's another guy who's out there you need to hit.
Yeah.
So
you, other than Brunson, everyone was a 1 for. It seems like either a 0 for or 1 for something.
Yeah. All right, well, the key stats of the night, man, brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Hey, for new customers, here's something special for you guys. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly using our code KFTV. Once again, that's with DraftKings. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Remember to play responsibly. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, and this is for new customers only. The bonus bets will expire 168 hours after issuance, and for additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Okay.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's funny because we were just talking about the stats, and we're going to, with the individuals. And this is why I say, CP, sometimes is tricky to box score watch, because you talked about OG 0 for 5, Karl Anthony Towns 1 for 3, Josh Hart 0 for 4, and everybody in the bench. Payne 1 for 3, McBride 1 for 4, Shamet 1 for 1 in 7 minutes. And Mikal had 2 for 6. Now, he made 2 threes. That means he made more threes than everybody else but Brunson. But if you watch the game, Mikal missed key timely shots that could have, as they say in NBA terms, could have blown the game open. How many of those shots you saw in transition where that transition flow in rhythm shot that he likes to take?
Yeah, I hate those.
The team is like in like a fast break motion, and he gets that elbow three, and he's kind of tilting away because it's like a rhythm pick and pop shot.
Yeah.
He missed a lot. Like, he missed a few
I hate
of
those shots, man.
We were up 11. He would have hit one. Boom, up 14. Now you don't know. The team misses a shot. You're up 6. Like, this is where the momentum shifts. He missed timely looks, and then the Celtics responded and kept it in single digits and then got you. So it's like you box score watch, but not everybody's shot is the same.
Not all equal.
Because it's all about moments.
Not all equal.
And Mikal's shots were, I think, more impactful and more important than even some of his teammates tonight.
Great point. Shout out to Jay Thompson. Welcome to the Fanchise channel members. Shout out to Shay. DJ C. Light Burgess says chemistry issues. $10 super chat from him. Says chemistry issues. 5 games with a fully healthy team. Just got JB back. 3 games to get the wrinkles out. Calm down. We figure the C's out. Bring the smoke. Well, we wanted this game. The game was within reach, man. Just one of those nights, man. I wanted this game. Shout out to Trevor Frund. $20 super chat from a Fanchise channel member says, CP, I want that Brunson Villanova joint because my dad went to Villanova and I've been a fan since I was young. So great seeing the Nova guys on the Knicks since I'm a Knicks fan originally from LI. Need that jersey. Salute. Hey, man, everybody, all the Fanchise channel members want that jersey. You guys know what you're going to have to do to get it. And we're going to do the giveaway in just a little bit. Let's see. Michael Connor, he's $10 super chat, says, it's games like this why Tibbs will not be the coach next year. I can see Michael Malone being the coach next year. Should we get into the Malone stuff right now? Huh?
Everybody wants to hear about it.
All right,
they want to connect it with the Knicks.
I got it because I got to do NBA radio tomorrow, Rob Perez. So I know I'm gonna be talking about that all day tomorrow, and I got to do Bleacher Report. But you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk. It's a hot topic. So let's get into it. For those of you that don't know, earlier today, both head coach of the Denver Nuggets, Michael Malone, and the GM, Calvin Booth, were shown the door with just 3 games left to hit the playoffs. Shown the door in a Mile High City, man. So with that, another coach biting the dust, and Tom Thibodeau drawing the ire of Knicks fans seemingly after every loss. The fan base throws a tinfoil of koofies on, and they're ready to see some changes, and maybe ready to see Michael Malone in here. So what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, my thoughts is this is a time, CP, in the NBA that we in the NBA, because I'm saying in sports, I'm like, I don't know, football, some wild stuff has happened in football too, but in the NBA, this is unprecedented. This is the first time, like, is this the new norm? Is this what's going to happen? You have 2 teams that are going to be contenders in the tough Western Conference, albeit the tough Western Conference, and they both got fired before the playoffs in the second half of the season. You don't see that, and it's just, even with the rift and the reported stuff, Calvin Booth wanted Michael Malone supposedly to play some of the young players. He didn't like that he played Russell Westbrook as much. He's like, all that stuff. It's still like, is that enough? Like, we hear that here with Tibbs, and you don't see that that's enough to like get the organization to make such a drastic move. It's like, give them the playoffs. But I just wonder if this is gonna be, because every league, when things happen, everybody copycats. Like, did Denver feel more like, hey, Memphis just did it, so what's the problem? Like, because these owners have a different mindset than everyone else. A lot of these owners, people forget, a lot of these owners are businessmen. They're not actually like die-hard sportsmen. Just look at the James Dolan interview, on Roommates. James Dolan is not the most basketball knower.
He's not in the details like that.
He's not in the details. People forget the reason he hired Phil Jackson. Like, when he hired some of these guys, is because he wanted to actually give somebody else the full operation. I don't want to make decisions no more. Everybody's killing me because, I make decisions. So this is maybe the new norm. And now, I look at, listen, you can't help but look at our situation and say, is this something that could happen here if we don't have playoff success? Now it's different because there's relationships, but I don't know, man. Since when we gave up Dante DiVincenzo, I kind of felt like Leon Rose may have shown just a little bit of guts in willing to win a championship. So this is just something that's shocking, and maybe this is something that it's not going to be a surprise anymore in the future of the NBA for front office decisions.
Yeah. Agreed on everything you just said there. So many things that I think about with this firing. The timing is that's cold-blooded, man. First and foremost, from this Kroenke family, that's cold-blooded. The timing is just crazy for both coach and GM. And as you said, it just speaks to the fact that owners aren't fans. They're business people. They're here for the most part. Yeah, they want to win a championship. But this question was asked as I was listening to NBA radio today. Like, how many owners are that gung ho about the prospects of winning a championship, like a Cuban or like a Bomber, who seem to be so fully stoked and invested in this thing? But as Mark Cuban has said many times, owning a team is not as rosy as people make it out to be. You get your money when you sell the team, but on the year-to-year operations, when you got to pay for this thing, it's not so. And so that's why he got out of the Mavs. And you look at the Kroenkes, they own damn near all the Colorado sports teams and Arsenal, who's right now in the Champions League against Real Madrid. So they're coughing up a lot of money. Now, does that factor into this decision? When it comes to the second apron, it seems like it, because they had no choice. They lost Bruce Brown, right, which everyone knew was going to be part of like a big challenge for them to get back into championship glory. But they never replaced him because they doubled down by not signing KCP. So you lost two of your biggest defenders. Then after that, you never did anything to make the team better, outside of signing Russell Westbrook and drafting a bunch of young guys. So clearly this ownership was not invested in this team. And the directive was clearly to the GM and to the coach, do with what you have and make the most of it and bring us back to the championship.
And then that's when you get, then, as you mentioned, is a chain of command and a trickle-down effect, because then now you have the GM and the head coach looking at each other like, okay, how are we going to make this happen? And Mike Malone has one philosophy, and reportedly Calvin Booth had another philosophy of how to go about this thing. And the problem is Michael Malone is probably looking at Calvin Booth like, do you see this guy Russell Westbrook's resume? He's a pretty volatile personality. Like, how can I just, you saw the whole thing with Carmelo when Carmelo had to accept, that wasn't easy for him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy for the teams that were coaching him. Right. So it's a very, very tough spot. But man, bro, a couple games. It's like, wait, you didn't. Like a lot of this had to be personal. It's like,
yeah.
What if they just didn't want Michael Malone to be there no more? Because again, here's the thing. If they let it go and Michael Malone has a successful playoffs, how do you justify firing him then?
Right.
Like, okay, if we let this happen, let's say the owner doesn't want him there because of a rift. But if I let him coach the playoffs and this guy takes us to the NBA Finals, how can I fire him now?
Right.
I don't want him here no more. So it's like, I'd rather take the PR hit now. And hey, maybe one of these lead assistants or a young coach can take over, and I can do it then. But and you see, and it's crazy. It happened to Michael Malone, and if you remember, Michael Malone is one of the head coaches that speaks out when all these other moves around the NBA have happened. He's the one that's been upset at some of the other firings. He came and defended Adrian Griffin when he was fired because Michael Malone is outspoken. And it's just interesting how, he is a coach that has covered other coaches, supported other coaches, has criticized other ownerships and front offices when they've made certain decisions. And then now he gets canned. Unbelievable.
Well, one thing for sure is that this was clearly signed off on by number 15. Nikola Jokic. I mean, come on, man. Like, you're going to tell me that they didn't go to the franchise player, the guy who's having an all-world year, just won the championship, the franchise player. You want to tell me they didn't let him know, like, hey, listen, this is 3 days before the playoffs. What do you think about this? And
you think he's in on it?
Absolutely. Nikola Jokic was probably like, yo, listen, if he lives, he lives. He dies, he dies. How would you do that? You cut the knees for right out from under
Jokic
them.
just seems like a guy like, hey, so what do you think? Jokic's like, if y'all want to do that, listen, I'm just going to go back and keep horse riding. Y'all do what y'all want to do. Like, he just seems like such a laid back, like, I don't care type of guy. But
I can't see it, bro. David Adelman, he's in a no-win situation. He's in a no-win situation, bro. Like, I can't see them just doing this without the Joker knowing. And this is a guy that you want to keep happy here?
I think he knows, but do you think it's something that he said, go ahead and do it? Like, he signed off on it. That's a different thing. Because as a player, you have to be smart enough if you're Jokic to say, okay, look, that's what y'all want to do. But if you go all out with the front office and you talking about the second apron, how can Jokic look at a future in Denver and say, oh, I'm going to side with ownership if there's no other ways to make this team better? I mean, he might want out next year. Who knows? Because how are they going to make the team better?
Right.
If anything, does Jokic support Calvin Booth's, like, play the young guys? Like, what is Jokic's thoughts on how he believes this second phase of his Denver career is going to pan out with the financial restrictions and quite frankly, some of the role players with the Gordons, Jamal Murray's not, they gave Jamal Murray $200 million, bro. He don't look like the same Jamal Murray.
He don't look like the same guy. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because this is what the chat want to hear.
Yeah.
We got the Denver part of it. With what's going on around the NBA, Casey Powell, do you think this could mean that our current head coach has a little bit of a little bit of pressure to perform here in the upcoming NBA playoffs?
Certainly not coaching that way as it looked tonight. I mean, your man just got canned, across the coast here, and you still stumbling and bumbling around in crunch time. Like, bro, you would think he would have turned into, the Wizard of Westwood tonight with the clipboard.
I mean, coach tonight like he got guaranteed an extension.
Yeah, I mean, with Worldwide West and them lurking around, you just never know. So he should be. He should be. But I do think, because I put this out there on Twitter, and it got a lot of reaction because
anything you do.
Yeah, of course.
When it comes to Tibbs.
Yeah, they think I'm covering for the coach when I never said anything about that. All I'm asking the question as the conductor is, This guy has a reputation. This is not coming from me. This is coming directly from Nuggets fans. The reputation, lousy rotations, not playing the young guys enough, not playing his bench enough, grinding his team down, players not supporting him. These are all the same things we hear from Tibbs. These are all the same things.
I don't see it.
So I'm just asking the question. And here it is, 3 games before the playoffs, and his star player signed off on his departure. That's all I'm saying. I just asked the questions here. I'm not saying don't bring him here. All I'm asking is this not the same complaints that we hear now?
So you're saying bring him here?
See, people think with the Tibbs Fan TV thing, I'm like, don't bring anybody else here. No. If you're going to bring somebody here, bring them in here and make sure that they can take this team to the next level. I'm trying to win a championship. I'm not here for Coach of the Year awards. I'm trying to win a championship.
They're trying to say they finally got an answer for that $1 million question of whenever someone has a strong opinion on the head coach and people say, well, who are you going to bring in here?
Yeah.
They're saying they got a name.
Well, you got Taylor Jenkins. You got Mike Malone now.
Listen, I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing it.
Not playing the young players.
I don't see how Mike Malone is a fit with this front office.
He thought his bench was trash. Y'all say develop. You can develop benches. You can turn sugar into shit. It was shit into sugar, whatever it is. Okay.
I don't know if this front office is ready. Mike Malone does not seem like the guy that is gonna come in here and try to fake injury reports like this front office loves Tibbs to do. They're not trying to be. He's not the guy that's just gonna be fully compliant with your procedures. He seems like a guy that has built himself to a point where he's going to go to an organization. You're gonna let me do what I do. You're gonna let me speak at these press conferences the way I want to speak. You're gonna let me express myself the way that I like to express myself. You're gonna let me challenge players the way I want to challenge players. I don't know that that's a fit with what this front office may want to do. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. But it seems like a younger Tibbs from what I hear. Right? Like a younger, more energetic, you could say better coach Thibodeau. But it seems like a younger version of that. I'm ready. If we go that route, I'm ready to take a risk on the next Udoka, right? On the next, next young coach, the guy in OKC. I'm ready to follow what professional sports has pivoted to in this generation, where you no longer need to be a 15-year assistant to be a head coach in the NFL, in the NBA, and even in Major League Baseball. It's just shifting. Maybe it's financials, whatever it is, philosophy, relating to the new players, whatever it is. But this is the way business is run now, and it's not a veteran coach, but if we go that route in the future, I think the Knicks are better off just taking a risk with a young, promising, respected, young head coach, up and coming former player. Lakers did that with JJ Redick. It's paying off for them.
Yeah,
I think that's the route. I think that's the way to go.
Denver defense 20th in the league. Somebody on Twitter was at me like, "Oh man, at least his team's not a cover to 3." Well, they were 20th in the league in defense. They were 20th in the league in 3-pointers attempted, made, and percentage by the opponent. I mean, the numbers are out there. Denver's never had a strong defense like that. They've had good players. They've never had a strong defense like that. Just something to think about, man. I'm just asking the questions here.
Just a conductor.
I'm just a conductor. You have a guy who, as all the reports are trickling out, he was too hard on the players. What was Josh Kroenke's statement today for the players after they fired him? Play hard and have fun.
Does that sound like a owner that wants to win a championship? That sounded like when I was in Little League.
Yeah, whatever.
Just have fun.
Yeah,
man.
Just have fun.
Forget the results of the game. Just have fun.
So leave us some comments in the comment section, man. What do you guys think? Do you want to bring Michael Malone here to the Knicks and get send Tibbs packing, man? What do you guys think? Leave us a comment in the comment section. That was another good segment by KnicksFanTV. Okay, let's give this jersey away. So I got a pack day tomorrow. Let's give this thing away. TM Fanchise channel members, get ready, because it's your time. All right, before we do it, let's get to STG Nick. STG Nick, rapid fire on the Discord. Go ahead.
What's up, ZP? Tonight was definitely the most electric home game we've had in a long time. It definitely felt like the playoff atmosphere in there. Yeah, it did not feel like the second to last home game of the season when the seeding doesn't matter. Defense chants were into it. I mean, especially in the fourth quarter, I was proud of the way we fought back. I think we fell down 96-91. Obviously, I'm upset we didn't come away with the win, but I saw a lot of promising things. A lot of the reasons we lost were just little details at the end, but I think in the playoffs we should and we better pay more attention to those details. So I think this game was a step in the right direction, as crazy as that might sound, compared to how we played against these teams recently, because I thought to start that third quarter when the Celtics went on like an 11-0 run, I said, it's going to be Cleveland from last week all over again, where we looked good in the first half and then completely let go in the second half. But we held it together. Brunson looked a lot better. And, let's just keep it moving. Okay. I did want to say, I know it's rapid fire. One quick thing on the Jokic thing. I saw Jokic also was saying that he wasn't happy with the Denver defense, but isn't he the anchor of the Denver defense? Like, it's almost like a Karl situation where it's like he's the one anchoring the defense. So it's also a little bit reflecting of himself. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. And
appreciate the call. Ari, let's go. Rapid fire. Let's go. Do we have Ari? Ari going once. Ari going twice. Okay, we'll drop Ari off. Just missed him. Okay. Molly, 1105, rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get straight to the point. I mean, I feel like we all know Mitch should have played more minutes, obviously. The defense, he played the pick and roll very good. He switched, got that nice block on Tatum. Mm-hmm. Real thing I wanted to talk about, honestly, was down the stretch of the game. I feel like, Hart, you gotta make a decision if you gotta be an offensive threat, because basically what Coach Mazzulla basically said at the end of that game was basically, Josh Hart, you have to beat us.
Yeah.
If you guys want to win this game, Josh Hart needs to beat us. And I feel like Tibbs, this was the perfect time we wanted to put Deuce McBride, because the defense they were playing is basically basically on the inbound. I think they doubled Brunson on the inbound, and
they did
wide open.
Yeah,
even if you have like Deuce McBride or whatever, at least everyone's matching up with each other, and you have a one-on-one situation. You can get a quality shot off.
Right. At least you gotta respect it, man, and appreciate the call. Ari, go ahead, rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah, for some reason the mic wouldn't unmute, but salute guys. Yeah, a couple things real quick. Number one, Tibbs. Bad game for Tibbs, man. I don't know how you don't foul in that last play. Like, everyone knows that. I don't know why it took him 10 straight possessions of Mickey 5 picks getting dog walked by Tatum to put OG on him instead. I don't know why it took him that long. The inbound pass to Josh Hart, of all people. He has Josh Hart being the bailout guy in the final play to shoot a three. Just pathetic coaching overall. Yeah, I mean, JD was cooking about Mickey's performance, I guess. You look at his numbers, he's a good, on paper, a good third option, but that behooves the question on why you're giving up 5 picks for a third option. The reason why we gave up 5 picks for a third option is because a lot of dummies in the chat were saying he's the final piece to the puzzle, guys. He's the final piece of the puzzle. He's Wingstop. He's a perfect fit, and he's going to guard Tatum and Brown, and we're all in. And now, because our team isn't as good enough as the Celtics, and we're all in, people are upset about it and making excuses. But at the end of the day, we don't have a tradable draft pick for 2031. God knows what happens by then. And the last thing I'll say is that, who is a businessman? I'm a businessman. And the MSG stock is down 20% in the last 3 months. It's the only team in the NBA which is publicly traded, and we know what's going on in the world right now in the stock market. I actually read the earnings reports, and Victoria Mink, the executive, I think CFO, basically said that they're feeling the pressure of higher salaries on the team, but it's okay because they make up that salary, they make up that money in the playoffs. So for whatever reason, if the Knicks were to get bounced out in the playoffs earlier than they did last year, now that they have more salary on the team, the stock's down 20%, there might be some tough decisions that need to be made. And one of them is Tom Thibodeau, because you can't do anything else. with the team. You're all in. There's no one else to trade. You're either going to trade Cat or Mickey 5 picks or something to upgrade. There's nothing you could do. So all you could do is fire the coach. So there's a lot riding on the playoffs. This in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. I'll end it on a good note, though. The last thing I'll say is that before the season, I said I don't really care about the playoffs. I just want to make sure we're healthy come playoff time. Yeah. And it looks like for the most part we'll be healthy. So that's the good news. But Mickey and Tibbs, man, got to step it up. But appreciate the call.
Appreciate the call, Ari. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Okay. All right, let's get to the giveaway, man. TM, let's filter the chat. Fanchise channel members, it is your time, man. It is your time. Let's get to it. You know, Knicks lose, but we got to send the people home happy. Okay.
Big time. A Villanova signed jersey.
Big time. Nova.
That's value forever. You know, Brunson can go on another team and the jersey goes on sale.
Yeah.
But Villanova, that's the alma mater. That's forever.
Facts. With the tags. No Fulton Street Fugazi, no Canal Street, you know. Yeah, man. With the tags. Nova. Signed by the captain. But, as is always the case here for our giveaways with the Fanchise channel memberships, you got to earn it. You got to earn your dinner. And what we mean by that is you got to answer a trivia question. Now, the chat has been filtered for only Fanchise channel members. And also, TM, let's get to slow-mo mode because you only get one chance to answer. So if I were you, if I were a Fanchise channel member right now, do not type anything in the chat because the question is coming up right now. And here it is. Which player, he's a former Knick, did Jalen Brunson back up as a freshman at Villanova? Jalen Brunson as a freshman, he came off the bench. And who was the starting point guard that he came off the bench for? The first Fanchise channel member to answer is going home with this one.
Oh man. Uh-oh.
Okay. I see a battle between some of our day ones.
Uh-oh. Was it the closer? Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, man. I see a lot of answers in here. JD, your answer, sir.
Ryan Arcidiacono.
That's it. That is it. Ryan Arcidiacono is the answer. Now, Ari says he got it, but TM, let's go back because remember, it's not by what the chat. It's not the chat order. It's the official time that the YouTube server has it logged. Those are the official times. The chat is just when you see it, depending on your latency and your connection to the show and the chat. But that might not be the official answer. Ari says, CP so mad I won.
I don't know, man. Ari got that answer before like 5 people.
Yeah, it was pretty
quick.
Let's see no foot trick, no frozen envelopes. We appreciate everybody for playing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ari answered like he got the question behind the scenes. See what's going on.
Somebody said Respect Shacks had Randy Foy. All right, what TM say? TM, do we have an official answer? Let's check the Nightbot logs.
TM recounting the votes.
Yeah. Next giveaway will be the Messi Mania. Written by our guy.
That might be what Ari actually wants.
Yeah, Messi Mania will be the next one, just to give you guys a preview. Autographed and written by our guy, Luis Miguel Echegaray. It's a good book. Man.
Ace Miguel.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what TM says here. Do we have an official? Wait, did TM say it in the chat or the Slack?
TM ain't say nothing in the...
Oh, man. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. We got some technicalities here. The chief moderating officer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness. We have a 3-way tie, ladies and gentlemen. Between Ari, Trevor Frund, and Eric L. Beats, who said it at the same time. However, Trevor Frund was the only one to spell it correctly.
Oh, my.
So we are going to go with Trevor Frund, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Trevor. Trevor Frund, this one's going home to you. It was only right. That was the only way to break the 3-way tie, man. We got to wrap up the show. Ari, I'll get you a drink at the watch party. Eric, you the DJ. We pay you all the time, and you won too many things. Trevor Frund, you are the winner.
Not only was this a trivia, I guess it was a spelling bee.
Yeah. Hey. You gotta be on point. No shortcuts. No shortcuts. Had to be fair, man. You know, we had to be fair. All right, Ari, we'll get you a drink at the next watch party. You know where to find us, man. Congratulations to all participants. And there we go. It was a 3-way tie. We'll put it out there on social media. We'll put the actual chat log and the timestamps. You know what I'm saying? We have to break the tie. It's not according to the chat order. And you gotta spell the guy's name correctly.
And of course, this happens on a listen. Giveaways have levels. This was a pretty valuable one. It's a signed Villanova jersey.
It's a signed Nova jersey, man. Shout out to our friends at AT&T.
This is a rafters one.
Yeah.
That jersey's up in the rafters, going up in the rafters. So, oof. Then the way Brunson's going.
Yeah.
10 years from now.
TM, do you have can you take a screenshot so we can put it up and show the people the actual tie? That's what, that's just what it is, man. Had to play by the rules. All right, let me salute some people with super chats.
Let me see how did Ari spell it. Ari might have just thrown the letters there just to get the answer out.
Yeah. Controversy tonight on KFTV, man. Let's see. Salute Mellow Mike. Salute Robin. Salute. Respect Shaq Bees Nori. Shout out to JB Clue. $5 super chat says Mikal Bridges really had the audacity to smile when he hit that, but when he had that boneheaded turnover. Mike Malone, you are our coach. Omar Shalaby, shout out to you, says extreme neglect and lack of focus from everyone. Shout out to Sean O. Salute. Coach Jackie and Y, salute to you. Shout out to Mark, says came down to what was free. Free throws miss were the difference. Let's see who else we got. Kareem Olsen Rosales says, not to be repetitive, but if Brunson doesn't pass the easy baskets in the crunch time, we're not going far. We already know that we can get easy baskets with ball movement at the end of the game. We saw it without him. S.Po25 says, OG was initially on Tatum every time, but when Derek White screened OG, him and Mikal kept switching. Yep, correct. Okay. M Swab says, what you call it? He said Coach Tibbs made the call to CP. That was M Swab. Okay, this was
literally only 2 people. I just checked everybody's answer.
He said
only 2 people. Only 2 people spelled it right.
Only actually. 2 people spelled it right. Okay, so all right. So the TM sent it in. Here we go. This is the actual timestamp here. We'll put it up So everybody can see. This is from Nightbot. As you can see here, 12:05. It was registered. Ari, Eric L. Beats, and Trevor Front.
I gotta see this screenshot, man, because Ari's answer came in like everybody started flowing like.
we got the timestamps.
20 seconds later,
we got the timestamps directly from Nightbot. And Trevor Front spelt it correctly, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. Microsoft Word work there.
Yeah, we
Good job, TM. Great job.
Yeah, Trevor, send us your address. KFTVmedia@gmail.com. Shout out to Omega Rex, 73 $10 super chat, says shooting better than 62.5% from the line, playing with tempo, raising our defensive intensity each quarter are fixable for Tibbs. All 82. The East is on notice. Let's go Knicks and go Gators. Shout out to Miguel Connor, $10 super chat, says games like this why Tibbs will not be the coach next year. You can see Michael Malone got that one. GQ Fanchise channel member says I know we don't really think Tibbs is holding some master plan for the playoffs. Are we being serious? Well, time will tell, sir. Time will tell in terms of the decisions being made and the personnel being put out there. Zach E says, I was at the game, tough loss. Here's my question. What play did Tibbs call out of that timeout with 3 seconds left? Why didn't the game tell him what to do? SMH. Yeah, well, with Boston doubling Brunson because Tibbs put Hart out there, the game told him Josh Hart shouldn't have been out there. and that was the play. That was the play. Oh, man. So, yeah, there you go. Rob Lowe. I like Tibbs, but we lost the game because of him not fouling up 3 and hit the inbounds play was horrible and guys passed. Okay, shout out to Rob Lowe. Shout out to Risen. $10 super chat says, would like to see Delon Wright get a few minutes. When given the opportunity, he was efficient and didn't turn the ball over. He has length and plays defense. Delon over Shamet Payne. Am I tripping? What do you think, JD? Should Delon Wright be getting a look here?
He definitely should get a look against the Celtics just to improve the defense. You got to find a way to, stop those 3-point shots, even for 7-10 minutes. He gives you more size at 6'5". Listen, Tibbs has to look at making adjustments if Campaign's not going to cut it. And remember, I always said Campaign affects Deuce McBride more than people think.
Shout out to John O'Torre. $5 super chat says bring back Jeff Van Gundy. GQ $5 super chat says after the Luka trade, Giannis did call Joker to the Knicks. I'm just saying. Shout out to Nick Rinaldi. $5 super chat says Tibbs should pivot. Oh, I got that one. Oh, no. He also said Tibbs should pivot to Delon Wright over Payne in the playoffs for defensive purposes if he's serious about competing this year. Only thing I would say is that, as we saw in some spurts, like in the Cavs game as well, like he also contributes to that offensive break, like slowdown when he's at the helm. Like even when Cam is on his like loosey-goosey erraticness, I still think like you still need potential at that point to get some offense going. Sometimes it could just get like, hot potato with the ball and with nobody with any real direction. I think it's a difficult situation all the way around. But for defensive purposes, maybe you can lead, defense to offense. You can get Delon Wright out there. I wouldn't be mad at it. Shout out to Bees Noriega says, I like what I see. We are what the Celtics and the Cavs were their first year. Don't sleep when we get to the chip. Okay. All right. And Omega Rex 73 $10 super chat says we got the ECF in scope and we talking Nuggets in all season. Let's go Knicks. Let's get back to work, and rock the East. No quit, all grit, close knit. Go Knicks. All right, man. Great show, everybody. JD, great show. Remember that this show is available in audio podcast format. So to our sponsors tonight at DraftKings. Also, shout out to Skims. Go to skims.com and make your purchase. And once you hit the post-purchase survey, click on podcast when they ask you how you found out about them and let them know that KnicksFanTV sent you. All right? Shout out to DraftKings. Shout out to Skims. We out of here. Peace.